All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Happy New Year's Eve. Alexis, Happy New Year's to you.
Happy New Year's.
We were just discussing before we popped on the fog that's going on. Is it being reported globally or just in the States right now?
Today, what Jace was telling me was that it was more southern east side of the United States that people are seeing the particulate in the air, shining flashlights, and it's just like fake snow or whatever.
So, and I know, but I also know it's in the Pacific Northwest, and then some of the northern Midwest is.
So it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. But now it's not down in Charleston. Sorry, guys. We're just going to jump right into it, right? We're going to get to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
It's so I'm not experiencing it down in Charleston right now. I'm on the ocean, but what people are describing, I have experienced that here prior. So it has a taste and a smell to it. And I don't know what to make what to make of it other than maybe we should be upping our vitamins. I don't what is your take on it, Alexis?
Oh, here. Maybe 1/3 of the USA is covered, but it's funny because fog for me is one of those signs that the new energy is entering in, and some people call it the sheen. And so I've seen the fog in a house and been like, oh, we woke up and today there must be, we're shifting in a way, and I'm adjusting almost, or the realm's adjusting. I can't quite figure out who's adjusting, but it's like walking in a dreamscape almost. And I've experienced it in a benevolent way where I've watched even just a sheet of it, like a wall of it, enter into a whole area after we've worked on the area. So it's kind of like, okay, there's a shift. It's following us. We're moving with the shift. That's good. But to have it just sort of populate up, I'm wondering, I was like, is this the sheen? Is this like the ascension energy or the new earth like overlay? And it's kind of like, I don't think that's what this stuff is personally, but I've been seeing it kind of in and out here. Earlier this month, it was through here in Phoenix, and I was like, oh, and then of course, then the drone sightings and all the sightings and everything picked up like crazy after that. And people are traveling to Arizona just to see UFOs. Even from Canada, that has plenty of UFOs up there. And it's funny. It's just whoever's getting most popular in the news. But we're also concerned about the one fault line over by Washington State, and the activity over there has just been kind of coming up as well. So I think there is something's going on, I've noticed. And I feel like we're maybe having one of those terraforming moments that we aren't as familiar with, and we have to kind of catch up to.
Yeah. I was doing a little bit of just connection grounding work before we popped on, and I heard multiple possible outcomes. And I know this is not a new concept. We've spoken about this for years and years, but and so when I fell into that further, like what explain further, and what came through was the reason why it's multiple possible outcomes is because there will be different groups of people perceiving different outcomes.
Right.
Different, and by outcomes, what I mean by that is just experiences. They're going to start. It's like the timelines are they feel to me it's like it's so jumbled. I want to do this with it, right? And these are all like little tiny offshoots of the highest timeline. But they really want the message to come through strongly that we are always creating in the moment.
Right.
And we need to always remember that. Because while I was doing my makeup, I was thinking about, when you look at dates, when people have tried to project out into the future, even, like Y2K, 2012, how many of those actually happened, right? And people said, well, but if we have the collective consciousness focusing and harnessing onto that, then that's how they make creation. Well, there were a lot of people focusing on all of those different things, and then it didn't happen for the vast majority. And so the thought occurred, well, what if those are all actually distractions to keep us from always being in the now and in that moment creating?
Pulls you right out of it. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you're pulled completely out of it. And so I think for, I know we're going into 2025. I don't celebrate that as my new year. I
Right.
wait for spring. I
You
wait
do
for
the lunar new year?
yeah,
Yeah.
I look for that. It's never really made a whole lot of sense why
The
we're
financial new year?
kind of well, and it's also why are, at least for us here in North America, this is our winter. So why are
Yeah,
we looking at new growth and new changes when our country is currently, our earth is sleeping right now?
and
It's coming,
frozen.
it's frozen. Yeah, we're in a hibernation. We're in that nice pause of reflection. So I almost spend, the next kind of few months in that reflection of really flowing. Okay, where am I wanting my energy to flow? And then see that manifest in the spring.
And the aurora's going off now that we're talking about it. So
Yeah. Yes.
just
So
gotta be-
I wanted to ask you, we have been getting slammed again with,
yeah,
yeah, I would love for you to talk a little bit about the global energy, the solar flare, Schumann, bam, again.
let's do that. And oh yeah, I was like, you're right. I didn't check the Russian charts today, but they're still going. So
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I
we
don't,
had, it looks like a 8 hour break there because they aren't going to try and kill the lab rats. We don't want to kill the lab rats. We want to just string them along because
yeah,
that's expensive to get new lab rats. Look at all the work they've done. Like, so much work has been put into what they're doing to us.
I know. Right?
And I'm watching it and like, okay, I can tell we're being experimented on and I can see the venues which they are doing that mutation on us. And then
Mhm.
I'm watching it in real time and trying to spiritually understand it too. Like there is like you're saying, like events are manifesting, but not the worst case scenarios that have potentially, what we on earth are like, well, this was definitely a popular potential. And it's like, well, guess what? Earth isn't the only group voting on this situation. So you're all good. Like, yeah, there's even all the trees are outvoting us. Like the bugs are outvoting us on a lot of stuff I've noticed too. And I've kind of gotten that, like the bushes all around that we ignore, they're
Mhm.
outvoting us. And it's kind of like oh, thank goodness, and that's why I think people are like, with this study, it's been more like, get back to what is Gaia actually saying and what is she responding to the sun and the planets? What are they saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't actually know what is stoking the activity at this time, but last year during the new year, we also got a huge X flare. So right in that window into 2024, we got a major X flare. So we just had two X flares. I think it was the day before yesterday or
Yeah.
yesterday in
Yeah.
the morning and in the evening. So that's two in a day, which is really good. And that sunspot is still facing us and hasn't fully hit the limb and turned away from Earth facing. So especially when it hits the limb today, tomorrow, the next day, it'll probably pop again, but it won't be as direct on us. So I think the most direct radiation, we've just survived it from this last episode, the last couple days, which is why you and I can even get on camera and even work, I think, because
Yeah.
it's the energy's coming back down again. So we're, oh, okay, we can handle that. But with Russian electromagnetic stoking, I've never quite seen what they're doing today. And it looks exactly what I'm seeing is they did something for a span of like 2 days, informed the electromagnetic field with something. And now they're doing it a mini version with less of it, but it's like copy paste, but less intense the second round, which is weird. But it's cool too because this tool has been really great because people can feel the electromagnetic field being stoked and they're checking these charts and there's showing up. And Tomsk, Russia, or Kumiana, Italy, where they do gather this and post it publicly, they get storms and they get weather and it impacts the local. And I check
Mhm.
those too, but storms and weather doesn't last like three whatever days straight or what.
Yeah.
So it starts, process of elimination. First, I check if it's weather. I check if there's any weird anomalies, but my suspicion is that the Russia is a part of the force that is consciously driving our planet because it's the northern pole
Mhm.
magnetically, and like Siberia and Russia are becoming the northern pole, which is where our consciousness is going to gather. And I'm pretty sure there's a few prophetics also saying that Russia's going to lead the way on multiple fronts.
Mhm.
And even Sputnik was the way that kind of pushed the space race in the beginning too, was Russian energy. So when I see them activating something, I know there's going to be a cascade of adjustments for the planet. And we did have Jimmy Carter die. That was kind of one of those moments, like when I see these heightens of energy, like, okay, who's going to pass away? Who's
Mhm.
going to be born? What's going to be born from this? What mutations are going to happen? And symptoms for people for this one was little extra synesthesia kind of coming online, more of uh, seeing auras, migraines kind of energy.
Mhm.
If you can't harness the energy, it kind of goes into migraine
Yeah.
territory, I would say.
Yeah.
So the trick and why I've done this blog also was kind of get people out of migraine territory and kind of train them on the more intricate shifts. So they
Mhm.
aren't shoving pills down their throat either to deal with the shifts. That's more of a logical. The brain is like not going to panic, like, oh, the sun did this, so I'm going to feel this. Great. Like, you could take meds, but you're going to have to deal with this either way. So,
Yes. Yeah. The whenever a solar flare, so the Schumann I actually navigate really well, but the
right.
solar flares, that is what throws my disc out of
Yes.
my neck. And so I usually deal with a lot of
That
it
sucks.
kind of like cascades down on my shoulders, right? Because it just
Yeah.
tightens through the nerves. But
Me too.
other, other than that, I was just wide awake. I
Yes.
struggled to get into a deep sleep with this one, and my dogs did too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so usually those when I'm not sleeping and my dogs aren't. So then we're outside at 3 in the morning doing potty breaks. And so I just stand outside and, look up like, all right, who's floating by right now? Who wants to say hi? And you were mentioned, people are moving and traveling to go and see these crafts. You can just go in your backyard.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
And they travel fast if you need them to.
They do. And sometimes, if you want to interact with them, if they are going fast and you are able to catch it, I have gotten many to slow down. I'm like, oh, I see
Yeah.
you. Can you just slow down for a second? And they'll go whoop, and they're like, like that. And then I'm like, hi, how are you? And then sometimes they're like, do a little zigzag back and forth as, acknowledgement. I'm like, okay, have a good day. Whoop. And they go.
Well, you're making me think now too, because tonight is a wonderful night for sky anomaly.
Yeah. Yes. I almost went out last night. We actually had a crystal clear evening last night, and I
Oh,
was I
very
was
good.
I was being kind of drawn to go out and do a sky watch, but of course I didn't. I watched Harry Potter instead. I stayed up and watched
Same.
Harry Potter instead. But I wanted to. We were talking earlier. It was around the time when the drones were really, really revving up, and I'm gonna be really honest with y'all, I just didn't feel anything into that. I really didn't. I actually actively like, "What's going on?" And I just got I didn't feel into that, and I could receive no information off of that, so I just let that hang out in the dining room. But I was driving in the middle of the afternoon. Again, I know you guys know I live in Charleston, and there is the harbor, which is where three rivers join and goes out into the ocean. It's a the water is very intense, so much energy there. And there is a deep underwater base down there, and it's not a good one. But I have felt it numerous times over the 10 years I've been here. And so I was driving in middle 2:30 in the afternoon, and it was a sunny sky, blue clouds. I mean, blue sky, white clouds, and then there was just this gray black anomaly in the sky. And I was looking forward, and my oldest daughter, was in the car. I was on my way to pick up my baby from her school, and I go, what is that? What is that? Because the energy, and it was layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of cloud cloaking.
Yeah.
And you could, when, I, with my mind's eye, I felt into it. And then I could see this solid black straight edge here. And then I got where it did a 90-degree angle down, and this huge cloud was cloaking it. And the minute I really fell into it, I almost threw up while I was driving. It put me into a panic attack. It's, just that's how my body perceived it. And my oldest daughter could see it as well. And I go, what are they doing? What are they doing? And I was receiving the message of they were pulling something. It was an energy field. It was pulling, and the word siphoning, and they were gathering in, and it's almost they were getting the thanks so much. I'm getting information right now. They were pulling in the atmospheric energy that is created again by this naturally occurring from all the power of the rivers coming down and joining that boom, 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 it was just there, and they were siphoning it up, and it was part. There's like I'm hearing right now, it was part to continue powering this up, but then they were going to just go and disperse it elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then when we turned around, because you went and picked her up, so this had like 25 minutes had then passed by that point in time, maybe 30. On the way back over, there was a fog. We'll call it that. And again, you guys, this is in the middle of the afternoon on a sunny day. This does not happen here. There was this fog that was just hovering right above the water in the harbor. And because I was over a huge bridge, there's something with the ergonomics of it. It was just very lightly going over and just skimming the midsection of the cars as you drove over. I'm like, what is that? It was almost some of the videos that you're seeing now. There were specks in it. Like there were things in that fog. It was to date probably one of the most intense, wildest moments where I'm like, oh my God. And I almost want to say like, and we've reached the next level.
Right.
Yeah.
Of intrusiveness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me also just blatant. It's just blatant. They're just there now, just blatant. I pulled some cards before we jumped on here, and I pulled from the Celtic Tarot, and this is also some messages that I've been getting as well. And the first one that came through is justice. Sorry, my things. So the justice card, and immediately after I pulled another one, they're like, nope, you need one more, and it was the shadow, right? So
that's good.
and so there's a message with this, and then I'm going to get to the third card, but just collectively, we're stepping into a place of taking a lot of ownership of we collectively as humans taking ownership of what we have allowed to happen. I know a lot of us like to say like, well, we were deceived. We didn't know what's going on. But even we've had years and years and years of a lot of disclosure, and still people who are, we've been trying to share this information, trying to let them know. They're still like, no, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. This woman, my mom was telling me this morning, she was watching a podcast for women in Australia, and it was all about the med beds, right?
Oh,
and so
yes, that makes sense for your mom.
Yeah. Yes. And so she said, the next morning, this woman made another post, and she said, I'm just flabbergasted. I was expecting to wake up this morning to a lot, just peaceful messages. And you're like, oh, I'm so happy that this is starting to come to light. Thank you for sharing the information. She said, I was blasted. Every comment was negative of,
ooh, they're close.
They're close. All of these med beds go against God. It was all about religion and how it went against the Bible, and only God can heal.
Interesting.
No med bed. And she said, I don't know what to do with this. Are we moving forward and we're, going to heal, or are we going to keep repeating again what has been?
You're making me think of Dr. Joe Dispenza as well. And he's recently, I'm pretty sure, was in Rome and talking at the Roman Catholic University or something, and trying to do a little discussion about the things he's seen. Well, because he's publicly doing experiments on people. And I'm pretty sure he mentioned he saw people regrowing or like reanimating parts of their body in front of him. And he's had multiple occurrences now of that. And I was thinking of your mom, like, okay, your mom must love Dr. Joe Dispenza, because he's even I watched his shock keep trying to explain it to these spiritual leaders, even, and spiritual educated people, like, I've seen these things. I'm like, yes, shock Joe. I like this. This is good. Even
Yeah.
he needs to break through his own mental limitations, and that just shows like the progress for me. So I'm glad. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, as Carl said, like so many don't want to hear it, and that's okay.
Mm-mm.
They're ready to truly receive it. It changed our lives completely.
And also, a lot of people got sick this last solar stuff. So people are looking for health. They're looking. So yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, Grace answer. I enjoy listening to Joe Dispenza. I mean, I personally, I just haven't listened to a lot of his work, but he really does and is touching and changing so many lives with his work. So I think that's fabulous. Anything that's positivity, where it's making people think new, and it's his life mission is trying to understand the power of the mind, the power of thought, the power of intention.
Yes, and it makes me think of even just the stories about the apostles and Jesus, potentially, if any of that is accurate, how even he was able to just be like, get up and walk to people, and they did. And then he's like, you can do this for other people too. I'm giving you that permission almost. And they were like, okay. And the apostles were like, get up and walk, and people were being healed. And I was like, yes, like that's a great story, whatever that is, and how that got saved throughout time. That little piece, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, I feel, we talk about this all the time. It truly is just that simple. It's that simple.
It
It's
is.
it's not this difficult, very complex. I was showcasing a few
Yeah.
months ago just the Schumann, right? Because we were just getting smoked with it. And somebody came in the comments and just destroyed me. He's like, you're not explaining the physics behind it. Like he went all within math. And so, I just wrote back, that's not my role. Like, I'm more interested, like,
Yeah.
how is your body perceiving this? How are you feeling right now? How are we navigating these changes again? And even as I'm speaking right now, like, even just, I feel through Gaia and his energy is like, it's just like, come on, like, how healing is uncomfortable sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've come to this state where we want everything to be easy and handed to us and
Right.
just smooth. And we do have to work. We have to put in some work. And I think that this is part of the shadow card, right? And in this card, it's depicted the man, the masculine and the feminine, and they have these rings around them with these chains, but they're huge rings. They just don't realize that they need to take it off themselves and they would be freed. Right?
Mhm.
They're still holding on to, I'm attached to this millstone. There's a millstone in the middle of it. I'm locked and attached here. And it's the same way of how some people still, they want to hold on to and own their traumas and so own all of that and, wash, rinse, repeat.
Yes. I'm glad people are writing more books, because at least now they're getting their traumas on paper and actually reviewing them and trying to even you'd be surprised how many memories you actually can't put in a full, complete sentence, because that's not how our brains actually work a lot of the time. They're just flying information, and then actually verbalizing and writing something down processes that so much easier, I've noticed, for me.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to make the books funny, like transfer the traumatic, annoying stuff into a joke and something funny, and like laugh about it. And
Yeah.
that's
I've
the
always
goal.
I've always been told through energies the importance of laughter.
Yeah.
And, especially because they're telling me right now, like, especially in Terrans, right? So
Yeah.
each species, it's a little bit different, but especially for Terrans, the importance of laughter for us, because it's the frequency of the laughter. It's how the body kind of shakes when you're laughing really, really hard. They call it a belly laugh, right? For a reason.
Yeah.
It's, because we store so many emotions in the gut and in the stomach, and you get that belly laugh and you can help shift things.
Big time. Yeah. I've been doing some intense cackling, like really energy releases, like just laughing louder than I've ever laughed, and wider, and just like just laughing because the insanity of the world just cracked me, and it's just like, I'm laughing. Like, it's hilarious. And I could
Mhm.
finally, and then it's so nice. It's better than yelling or getting angry. And the insane laughter has been kind of a fun transmuting. It's a new one for me though. It's like, but I'm enjoying it. It's like, oh, that's not being pent up anymore. You're gonna laugh like a crazy person for 30 minutes and then everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, just like Trevor said, laughter saved my spirit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've noticed that when I'm getting to that state where I am almost finding over humor in everything, that's
Mhm.
usually a key to me that things are about ready to go really intense.
Yeah.
And because all it is a reminder of just hold in that laughter, just hold in that frequency, and because this is how we get through it. Um
Yeah. That's where I want to be. I want to be jovial. So,
So, Lucy wrote, do you think the disassociation is a positive or negative impact?
depends how you need it. It's a survival instinct for your nervous system. So, whatever you need it for, just use it like a tool.
Hmm. I agree with that. That's exactly how I use it as well. And I'll even, when it just gets a little bit intense for my own, just my body and what I'm feeling, I'll tell my family, I just need to disassociate for a little. I own it. I name it.
Yeah.
I just need to disassociate, and usually I disassociate by literally watching a humorous show or humorous movie because again, that laughter helps me get out of it.
Yeah.
But again, yeah. As long as we're using it as a tool versus a complete and total avoidance life path,
Yeah.
because it is, as tough or as amazing as each experience can be, it is, we're meant to be here and live it and experience it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the third card that I pulled was the Magician,
Yay.
which means that we already have all the tools that we need. We already have
Thank God.
everything, and we can alchemize it, right? And we can create. Again, it's that creation energy um, that we're coming in. I know, we're going to do a meditation here and some toning. And when I was kind of tapping in to see who wanted to come forward, I went in with the creation, with creator beings. And it was this beautiful indigo colored crystalline
Mm,
space where I was in. So I'm
sounds
really
nice.
excited. Yes. Yeah. So before we get in, we want to do this live. It's New Year's, it's New Year's Eve. Just do a nice meditation to kind of get into that, help to process and move through some of what we're all feeling.
Yeah.
I know I get as much benefit from the toning too. It helps as well. Um, so do you want to get started on that? Or do you want to have any last things to discuss before we get started?
I think we covered everybody. Everybody's feeling involved in the conversation. We've
Yeah.
been, yeah, people did get sick. I definitely want to shout out to everyone who's not feeling well.
Yeah.
We'll weave let's see what else we're weaving into the meditation. We had some, extreme levels of sickness kind of creeping up on people out of the blue. Those will happen like the solar flares, and all of a sudden, like, you're purging.
Yeah.
If finances, okay, we want to get some finances in. Okay, the fog, we want benevolent fog. All right, I think I've got myself oriented here. Okay, great.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So everybody get comfortable. Let's tap in. We're going to start a meditation, and then Abby's going to lead us with the toning and bring us that indigo and etc. energy, whatever else is going to follow through with that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So settle right in, get comfortable, try and align and stack your spine on top of itself. Plant your feet on the ground. I'd invite you to bring your hands to your heart in a kind of a, prayer clasp position if you want to help close that circuit. Take a deep breath in through your nose. We're going to hold it and let your body kind of deposit all of the crap into your lungs that needs to be blown out. So big breath in. Breathe it all out. Let's clean up our lungs. Let's do 3 of these. One more. Keep your eyes closed. Now we're going to do a gentle breath and breathe in intention. And let it go gently. One more. I want you to pray into this breath. What is it that you wish to see in the new year? Whisper out the breath gently. All right, we're going to sink into our breath now. Get comfortable with breathing, keeping your eyes shut. I'm going to take you a little deeper. So get comfortable with the breathing, hit a comfortable pace with it. Try and do the nose in, mouth out. This will help clean your lungs while we're doing this. So I want you to tap into the sparkling space that's above your head, sparkling, dazzling light that just dances above your head. Just want you to tap into that while you're breathing gently. Look at it. Look at its pulsing, it's dancing, how bright it is, what color it is, how large it is, how dim it is. Are you seeing the light there? If not, would you mind sparking one up for me and lighting that for us and making it dance, just like those plasma orbs you're seeing and when you look up at the stars, how they dance. We're going to instigate and elevate that particular chakra. So if any of you have ever played Sims or anything like that, there's a diamond that hovers above the characters' heads. We all have one of those too. And it's a chakra in a way. And just remember that space, invigorate that light. It's invisible to most, but soon we will all be seeing them very clearly around each other. We're going to be seeing each other's auras much clearer in 2025. So take a deep breath. I want you to pull that light down into your heart from that sparkly light above your head with a big breath. Suck it in like a straw. Hold it in your heart space. Let it warm you up. Happy, jovial spirit. Okay, when you breathe out, breathe down through your feet. I want you to feel roots branching off of the tips of your toes and beginning to curl and dig into the earth and dig deep and curl deep. We're going to dig and dig and dig. We're reclaiming the earth beneath our feet. We grew from here. We live here. We love the earth. We are entwined with the earth. Everything the earth does, we feel through our roots. Everything the earth wishes to communicate, we immediately hear as we wrap our roots deeper and deeper and curl them around the core of our planet with a big hug. We love our planet. We love our time, space. And we are personally involved in creating the highest and best timeline for all of us. Thank you all for participating in world peace and in having the excitement to join the solar system and our galaxy and all of the relevant connections that we have and are already active. Grateful to be participating and invoking love and communication and cooperation into this space. We are a happy, healthy omnipresence. And with that, I'm going to let Abby bring you into the toning to refine this energy.
Brukana ise kona hisukono bok ise ana ane bokana ise ana bona akana I akirshinana brokana ise ana okana ishena. We say to you today, we see each of you. We see each of your energies present and coming in for today. And we say, take a deep breath in and love oneself. Do you not feel it? Do you not feel this energy of love around you? One more time, breathe in and feel that love pulled into this physical vessel. Kukanasi anaponakanayana. It is always around you. Just tap in and believe. Believe. Kusyananana. Believe it's there, right in front of you. For it is you. We are you. Everything of which thine eye sees is you. An outreach of your energy, of your own divine light. Everything that thine eyes shines its focus, shines its intention, is you. We want to see more love in the world, see more love. We want to see healing in the world, see healing. We all offer to come in and assist, as gentle as the breeze which swoops in from the right side and across. Mokana ik usheana hakrono una ik iseana. And we step forward to bring to you this tone, this sound of a gentle reminder that we are here, we are you, and we are all love. Mokona ike seana. Mokona siane, koniane, ona. Mokrana he croceno, yana, hionu. Mokrasiane, branaya, ayani. Oh, hana ho, hey, hayane, oh, no, honey. Mo, hayano, hey, hayano, bro, hayane. Mo crossone oh hanayane ai mo rane oh rane mo crossone oh hanayane Book Cristiana Bokana Cristiana Bokrashiet Corona Banakana Isse Krena Ikronana Bokronoshayano Corsiano crane kayane Corsiano brana crescene Cocrosiane o crasano no yo crossano rana ye Kukanaha sek o shena. Kana. Bikana zikana ikmana nashianana. Krashio no Kikara Hisaya no Krana Hikoshana Hikana Ushekonoyana. Kunana. Kikana Hakana Isaya na. Ikini Isaya no Kono. Oh, yes, we call these a life breath. Pulling everything up and above and release, 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 and send down, 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 down. Kushana kana release. Iseanana. Mukana yani ano yani o yani o ne o ke krana ye krashana yani krana yani o yani ko krashane o ye hane o na kiano kayono hayana 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 ma kayane hone hona yono hayane hana hayani Kamakaseana, Mokasi konoishiana, Mokashiana kano ushanana, Mokashiana kana ushanana, Mokashiana ekana, Bosana, Bosana mio konahana. Oh, anahana, Mena. Kiono sana mokona yaniana kishina mana kuna much love, much blessings. We step back now. Ana kiseana. We are you. We are one. We are but a breath away. Kuna mana kana. See you on the other side. We love mana. Many thanks and many blessings. And we go up into that crown, into that space above again. And we pour down this beautiful crystalline light. Ukana. Pouring down the crown, pouring down the head, the forehead, the ears, the jaws, feeling it going down around the throat and the shoulders in pure protection, in shielding with love, and this light down the arms and around the fingers and up the backs of the arm and going around the heart, around the chest and down the back and around the stomach and around the gut, this divine, pure, sealing, protective, loving light going around the hips and pouring down the legs and the knees and the shins and going down around the feet, and then it comes up. And here we are. Fully supported. Allowing this energy continue to move and float where it needs to be. Your own light, your own energy coming in and protecting your field, your auric field. Divinely protected. And wiggling your hands and your toes and coming back into this day at this time and in this moment. Goshen. Thank you all. Thank you so much, Alexis. Thank you.
Yay.
You all for here. Thank you.
That was fun.
No. They came in, and before we did the seal, they with the light, they were like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I was seeing the two slides.
They were doing that boom, boom, boom. They were divine, like with just light, just guarding protection in our own field, in our own body. So
Just a little armor of God update and a reminder. Yeah, I was like, oh, I was seeing the groups coming in. I was like, oh yeah, and that's for that trip that's coming up that she's gonna do, and that's for that trip she's coming up that she's gonna. So they're all ready.
yes, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting when they said, see you on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's nice not to be stuck on the other side all alone.
yeah. They were very, very joyful, very joyful. They made me laugh a lot in that. So their energies, very joyful, creation energy. They did a lot in the heart, uplifting the heart and bringing joy into the heart at the end. They were almost, they were chuckling, and they're just bringing in lighter energy into that heart field. Yes.
Yay.
Yes. So thank you so much. If anybody wants to further watch Alexis, your Ascension Diaries, I was actually just sharing your feed with someone else yesterday to follow you who was feeling so much anxiety and they couldn't pinpoint it. And I said, well,
Yeah.
you have to follow Diaries. You can
Space weather.
check in with Alexis because she always has the deets. Thank you so much.
Well, I want you to tell everyone about the trips, if you wouldn't mind, before we go, that you're going to be hosting.
Well, the
whatever's open.
Yeah, no, the very if anyone is interested at all, so the end of February, myself and Sherry Dibben and Laura Van Tyne, we are co-hosting an immersive retreat down in Florida. And we rented a home, so it's going to be a very private event, very intimate event. And through this, we will be sharing all of our tools and knowledge, remote viewing. I'm teaching toning and somatic movement to get the energy out. I will be also working with a lot of the druid energy. I've been calling that in of self-healing. How can we self-heal? So the whole point is we're going to spend these 3 days immersively teaching and holding space for everyone to remember. Because again, it's all within you. So it's just those gentle little moments of remembrance coming in. And, I know I'm going to be leading some quantum, hypnosis while I'm there to help people get within. Again, the toning, the humming, finding your sacred voice. We're stepping into this place where everyone is finding that sacred voice, that sacred knowledge, that sacred knowing. So that is, and that retreat is awakenandalign.net if you guys are interested, or you can just message me here and I'll give you the information. But yeah, three immersive days. It's going to be a smaller group. So, cause we're wanting to do this and the whole purpose is you're going to leave with actionable tools, with things that you can continue to hone in on yourself, and continue to work, for 2025 and beyond.
No gatekeeping.
No gatekeeping whatsoever. There's no gatekeepers. Actually, I had someone, I was working with someone years and years ago, and during our trainings, and they said, well, you have to have a gatekeeper. Who do you work with? When you channel this information, I'm like, I don't have anybody. I'm just there, and I thought something was wrong with me. And so I actually did some shamanic journeying. So then, okay, like, who am I supposed to be working with, right? Like, people keep telling me I need to have a gatekeeper. And I went in there, and the whole purpose is like, who am I going to be working with? And I just walked out to a completely empty desert. There's nobody
in there.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm like, really? I'm all alone. And the messages came through like, it's you. Everything comes from you. And that's for everybody. It's you. It comes clear through you. So, because even every gate, it's still another filter that you have to bring the information through. So yeah. So yes, excited for that retreat. So again, thank you so much. Happy January 1st for everybody tomorrow.
Yep.
Celebrating the new year in the spring. And but again, we're all here as a collective group for one another as we continue to ride these ascension waves.
Yeah, because everybody's feeling it. There isn't somebody sitting here not feeling it.
Yeah.
I haven't met them anyways. I don't know.
I know. Yes. Yeah. They may not have words for it, but they're feeling it.
Yes, they are. I think we're being recommended to do these again. So maybe a few more in 2025.
We will definitely be doing
safekeeping.
We will definitely be doing more of these. So I wanted you to come on and do this today because we've been doing this privately.
Right.
We've been doing this in small private, some Zoom groups. And so it is stepping up and finally doing this on a more open platform.
And it worked great.
It worked great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No problems. We did great.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And I will say a lot of that energy, a lot came through. So I would definitely say hydrate today.
Yes, hydrate the whole time.
Hydrate. I know. I mean, my intuition, it's like lemons.
I just bought a bunch.
Yeah, it's like everything citrus has been coming through for me. And to where I'm like, I get it. But yeah, a lot of lemons. And I'm telling you, those magnesium soaks, oh my goodness, you're like a whole new person after 30 minutes in a magnesium soak.
Don't have to tell me twice. I know what I'm doing.
I know. So definitely. But as this continues, pay attention to your dreams, especially. I always say this for the next 2 to 3 days.
Oh my God.
Doing a meditation, just pay attention to them. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Good point about the dreams. Very good.
Yep.
You're going to be getting dreams, you guys.
You will.
You've been warned.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Thank you guys all again. Thank you so much, Alexis. I appreciate all of you guys.
I love you guys.
All right.
This was fun.
It was fun.
Bye.